Hello, my name is Arnav Jain. I'm a freshman at Carnegie Mellon University, and this is my term project for 15112. For my project, I implemented a Monopoly game using Python 3 and tkinter. Getting started, we see that the main screen gives options to view directions or to play the game. Pressing spacebar for instruction, we see that this is the directions page, and pressing enter to play. We see that there are two players, each of whom starts with $1,500, and each of whom starts on the go space. There are a number of buttons down here created for the user to use at different times during the game. Here's the dice roll. Here is where the player has landed, and this indicates which player's turn it is. So player one starts. Player one rolls, clicks the roll button, which we see is lit up. Player 1 lands on Oriental Avenue. It is unowned, so player 1 can choose to buy it, which he does. This shows up under the properties owned list for player 1. We see that his total balance has decreased by $100, and the 0H stands for the number of houses on Oriental Avenue, which is currently 0. Player 1 ends his turn, thus making it player 2's turn. Player 2 is currently on go, and player 2 rolls, lands on chance. Bank pays you dividend of $50. So player 2's balance increases by $50. Player 2 ends its turn. Player 1 rolls 4, and lands on just visiting. Because player 1 rolled doubles, player 1 can roll again. Here he landed on New York Avenue and can buy New York Avenue. Ending his turn, player 2 can roll. Player 2 lands on just visiting, has to end his turn. Player 1 rolls and lands on Marvin Gardens. Player 1 can buy Marvin Gardens and end its turn. Player 2 can roll and purchase Virginia Avenue. You see that again, player 1's balance decreases and Virginia Avenue shows up under the properties owned. Player 2 ends its turn. Player 1 rolls, loses $15 due to chance. Player 2 lands on free parking, but rolls doubles and can roll again. Player 2 lands on the railroads, and so rent works a little bit differently for railroads than it does for regular properties. This was taken into account. Another aspect of the game is trading. So player 2 can choose the properties from player 1 that he or she wants. Let's say Oriental and Marvin Gardens, and player 2 can offer in return Virginia Avenue and B&O Railroad. As such, player 1 can choose to either accept or decline. Let's say player 1 chooses to accept, then we see that the properties switch. Player 1 now owns Virginia and B&O. Player 2 now owns Oriental and Marvin Gardens. Player 2 then ends its turn, and player 1 rolls. By passing go, player 1 collected $200 and landed on Reading Railroad, which can buy. Another aspect of the game is mortgaging, which works similar to trading. When a player clicks on the mortgage button, it can choose properties in its own list that to mortgage. So let's say player 1 chooses to mortgage New York Avenue. Then we see that a small M appears next to New York Avenue, which indicates that it's been mortgaged. Building houses works the same way. If player 1 had a monopoly in which he or she owned all 3 orange spaces, for example, then he can choose the build button and build properties, click the properties, and build on them. Player 1 can also sell properties by clicking. Again, this is contingent upon the player owning a monopoly. And so the game essentially ends when one of the players reaches $0 and all of his or her properties have been mortgaged. At that point, the player has no other moves or no other ways of income and has lost the game. And so this is my turn project. Thank you for watching.